I've been single now for about 7 years. It's a long time. I've dated, but I've never like had a boyfriend to bring home or like a man friend, because being 40 years old and calling it a boyfriend is, I don't know, a little weird. I went through a divorce when I was 33 years old. And it wasn't until I was single again that I heard about this concept called cuffing season. I'd gone on a few dates with this guy and I like felt like it was kind of getting serious. And so I mentioned it to this friend of mine and he was like, oh yeah, well, it's cuffing season, it makes sense. I was like, what? This was a new term. I'd never heard of cuffing season before. If you're not familiar, cuffing season is the time between the holidays, so like October-ish, and Valentine's Day, when it's cold and gloomy outside and nobody wants to be alone. And so people partner up, just like for the season. Now, truthfully, I did not realize how lonely the holidays could get until I went through my divorce. And then after my ex left, I set up a tree and I had to unpack all of our holiday ornaments that we had gotten together, all of our celebration ornaments, the ornaments people had given us to celebrate our engagement and our wedding. And let me be honest, that was a really shitty trip down memory lane. And I think that's where the holidays probably started to lose a little bit of magic for me, because suddenly I no longer had what everyone around me had. And like, yes, of course, I have my family, I have my parents, I have my brother, but you know, you grow up and you're supposed to like start a family of your own and start your own traditions. And here I was, 33 years old, starting over. But nothing reminds me more of my failed launch into adulthood than Christmas cards. Now, my friends are amazing about getting their Christmas cards out. Like, they all book their photo shoots, they put on their flannel, they go out into a field, and they take these beautiful family photos, and then they put them on their photo cards and send them out. And I love it. Like, I love having my fridge covered in all of the love of my friends and seeing how they've grown their beautiful families. I also, to be perfectly honest, kind of hate it. I said the quiet part out loud. Because it is a reminder that I am no longer like them. I used to be married. I used to send out Christmas cards. Like, I was on the family boat. I was actually one of the first ones to get on the family boat. And then like everybody else got on the family boat and we started going. And then I got pushed off without a life jacket. And so like, yes, I could send out my own Christmas cards, but if I were to book a personal photo shoot and put on my flannel and go out in a field somewhere and take a lovely picture, it would be weird. It would reinforce my otherness, right? That I am like not like them. I would be quirky, and dare I say, like, some would probably see it as self-absorbed. Like, it would be a novelty, even though it is what everybody else is doing. And honestly, my Christmas is already really busy, and so I don't even bother. And that, and probably a lot of other pieces of the holiday, I've just kind of ended up skipping. Now, the end of cuffing season is Valentine's Day. And I'm not gonna go on a rant about Valentine's Day. I'm really not, I promise. But I don't know that I have ever actually had a successful Valentine's Day, even when I was married. It never lived up to the hype. And I know the platitudes that you're gonna give me. Valentine's Day is a commercial holiday. Like, literally, it was created in order to sell candy, which is part of the holiday I appreciate. And so yes, I know that Valentine's Day is meant for consumerism, but fuck if it doesn't still suck to be single on Valentine's Day. And while every year I play Valentine's Day off as Single Awareness Day, or Happy Sad, it still stings. Because while Valentine's Day is advertised as a day of love, it's really a day about partnership and whether you have a partner in your life or not. And I very much do not have partnership in my life. My only partner is my super hyper independence, and she is a cruel mistress. And so I realized pretty early on that, you know, Valentine's Day is gonna happen every year, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to deal with these feelings of not having partnership. And so I realized I could wallow in my self-pity and my anger, or I could do something productive with it. And so that is why every year I mail old school Valentines to my girlfriends. It's a tradition that I have kept up for 7 years now. There have been sharks and snails and frogs. This year it was bugs. I don't write a lot on them, but I do put a lot of love into them. And yes, it is still quirky and it still makes me other, but in like an awesome way, not in like a, oh, I'm so sorry, you're sad and single way. But my favorite thing about sending these Valentines out is getting messages back from my friends who receive them. I love every year I have friends who call me and they're like, oh, I'm so happy I made the list. Like, I was wondering if I was gonna get the Valentine this year, and I did. And I love that. And the list just keeps growing as my friends have daughters, and like, I bring them into the fold and send them love too. And I think, honestly, that has been the key to my single success. There's this concept of like shifting the energy. If you are not receiving a thing in your life, you have to create more of it and put it out into the world. Give it to others. Operate with an abundance mindset. And then you turn something that could be kind of sad and depressing into something that's actually really freaking beautiful. And it's filled with a lot of love. And, you know, that love comes back to you.